Money Plane.
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Hockman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing that which featured Frasier, Kelsey Grammer, screaming with a machine gun just now? Money Plane.
We are doing it because we saw a clip on like John Oliver or something, and we didn't know it existed. This is one of those like direct to streaming movies, or like I can't imagine. I don't research, so I don't ruin fact or no fact, but I can't imagine this had a theatrical run. This had to be straight to streaming or straight to Redbox or something like that.
Netflix,
so we saw somebody talking about it, and we're like, we have to do this. And this is a few weeks in the making because we had a couple other things already in the works. So we're gonna have Bob describe Money Plane. And I think we have a bumper for that, so I'm going to play that.
We
right
do.
Now, it's
we do.
It's
okay.
season 97 of The Worst Movie Ever Made at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. And here is Bob explaining Money Plane.
Let's get a little groovy and have Bob explain the movie. So for your consideration, here's Bob's alliteration.
All right.
Indeed. Crummy career criminals crash a cruising casino.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So there's some kind of heist posse, like I'm going to call them, because that's what they are. They're assembled. Posse. They're assembled to steal a painting, and they're set up, but not caught somehow. Like if you watch the segment, you'd be like, "How are they not caught?" Right. And then the same guy that set them up hires them from another job to steal crypto and cash from a flying casino, which is also a setup, we find out. And I'm not sure how any of this makes sense, really, but there's CGI blood and really quiet gunfire.
Yeah.
I'm already going to get into catch-all, so let me shut up. We'll just throw it to YouTube.
Sure. The Worst Movie Ever Made presents YouTube comments made by people who clearly have daddy issues.
Kill my father!
Okay.
That was fantastic.
Number one. This movie Money Plane, this is in all caps, by the way. This movie Money Plane is awesome and has a tremendous casting. I can't find the movie, but watching it makes me happy. All caps, no punctuation, and also it contradicts itself because how could it make them happy if they couldn't find the movie?
Yeah, I can't watch it, but it makes me happy.
Another comment that's in all caps. Kelsey Grammer in this role is fantastic and very legendary and very awesome actor. Smiley face, 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 smiley face. About a dozen sunglasses, about a dozen more smiley faces, about a dozen more sunglasses, about a dozen more smiley faces, and this repeats indefinitely.
Holy shit!
Next comment. I love this trailer's desperation to make this look as exciting as possible. Best cameo was the Bare Naked Ladies CD. This movie was, quote, plain, unquote, awesome. Best part was at the intro where it should XRP at $70,000. What a movie. Kelsey Grammer is acting his ass off. This is the Citizen Kane of the 21st century. And the last comment, Money Plane.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is actually the perfect way to end it, and you'll see why in a little bit. Test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Salami.
The worst of its kind.
All right.
Salami and carrots.
Yeah.
Money Train with Snipes and Harrelson at 22. U.S. Marshals, Tommy Lee Jones, our favorite delegator, a 30.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Out of Sight with Clooney and Lopez. One I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I think it's been on the worst of its kind before. A shocking 94 for something that has Jennifer Lopez in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Death Warrant, and this immediately shot up to the top of my list of to-dos. But if we are in fact doing blockbusters after we announce what we do for next week for Christmas, then it will not be a candidate for this season. But Death Warrant with JCVD, a 0.
Okay.
Oh.
A 0. And then Swordfish with Travolta and Halle Berry, a 26. An average of 34.4. What do you guys think Money Plane did?
I think a 12.
I'm going to say, yes, 12.
A 23, which I thought was too high. It doesn't even deserve a quarter credit, but
yeah, it's not.
That's what it got. It's negative 11.4 overall, but it's not the worst of its kind. That's Death Warrant, which is why I really feel like we should take Death Warrant into consideration for future seasons.
Okay,
like, season 112 or something like that.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So 8 weeks from now, got it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's throw it to number 2. Test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
Excuse me, madame. May I have a little kiss, please? A little kiss, please. Come on. Whoop.
Ain't that a pitch?
All right. Who's going first to kick off season number 98?
I went first last time.
All right. Bob, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. It's been a while. All right. There once was a casino flown by a pilot and navigator in a movie made with 3 brother collaborators. Kelsey Grammer showed up briefly. Action was portrayed cheaply. And sadly, nobody was fucking an alligator.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping for that. I'll go next. I went a little long on this first line, but I had to. The money plane is something that Darius Emanuel Grouch III, a.k.a. The Rumble, wants to rob. He bamboozles Jack Reese and his crew into doing one last job. Through relentless gambling and high-stakes meandering, Grouch meets his grisly fate and becomes a bullet-riddled blob.
Unless they have him die off camera so that, there'd be a money plane too, but we'll see.
Yeah, they were debating opening it up for a sequel based on critical and commercial reception.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Edge is a criminal, immoral with impurities. He has a team he trusts with absolute certainty. They rob a billionaire plane, which sounds insane, but it's actually really easy because there's no security.
Okay.
Like literally no security on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I almost ruined before. That, like Bob was saying, like how it was easy to do.
Yeah.
And it's shockingly easy because the only security is like 2 dudes that are like evil billionaires of their own right there to have fun, and they're the ones like trying to stop the robbery from happening.
And one's got a sling blade haircut.
Yes.
Yeah, true. I think I'm gonna go with Bob and 4-star for that alligator comment.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go Bob 4 as well, because that was, they pitched us as seeing a man fucking an alligator, and we could bet on it, and we couldn't bet on it.
We couldn't bet on it.
Yeah.
No.
You're right about that.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We could have bet on it, but we would have lost if we bet on seeing it.
Yeah.
Which for all I know is exactly how they bet on it when the Rumble is talking about it. I'm not really sure. All right, test number 3, the most offensive.
Oh my God!
All of you got the most important thing.
To be as offensive as possible.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
A pattern's emerging.
Rob wins bumpers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just worried about how I'm going to feel about these on week 5 of this season.
Yeah. Not good, Chris. Not good.
Number 5, Payday painting propped up on patio pavement. So, yeah, notice they actually scored the real painting that they went to Heist in the beginning of the movie. When they get it, it is the money that he's going to split with the rest of his crew so that everyone's rich, including the guy that like helped his family out.
Yeah.
And he's just got it propped up against the wall outside on this patio. It's like a $70 million painting or something.
Yeah.
It's just outside, like exposed to inclement weather, what have you.
Yeah.
Just thought that was
and a
really
dog.
funny. And a dog, yeah. Number 4, Best Bud Bedtime B&E. So his best friend, just in the middle of the night, he's not drunk or anything. He just decides to break into his house. He almost shoots him.
Yeah.
What's that about? He doesn't even knock. He's like his best buddy. Really, what it's about is so that you think that someone's breaking into the house, and then you get a nice like relief moment when you find out it's actually. And it's funny because they're like, he's picking their lock or whatever, and he's friends. I don't know. It's really dumb. Number 3, putting your partner, princess, and pal in peril. So I'm specifically talking about when he is like, I'm going to tell the Rumble that I'm fucking him over. Yeah. And this is Edge's character. I don't even remember his name in the movie. I don't care. You guys remember the wrestler's actor, the character name?
I had it in my
Jack.
limerick, but Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
So Jack is like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna like just not do the job for you since you set me up, blah blah blah. And he knows full well that Kelsey Grammer's Rumble is like gonna send people to kill his family and his friend when he does that. So I would have like tried to obscure the matter at least until I knew my family would have been safe. But he had enough trust in his friend, who he didn't warn, that he would take out the little minivan full of assailants that show up in his driveway. And the guy does it to his credit, but, placing that much faith in my friend is, what if he showed up with 3 minivans full of people?
Exactly.
There's so much not filmed. There's so much not filmed that you don't know if he didn't tell him that. It's just like...
That's true.
There's so much jump cut.
Yeah. That's a good point. There's probably a unabridged like 3.5 hour Oppenheimer length director's cut of a money plane floating around somewhere.
Well, if there is, we're not required to watch it.
No, absolutely not.
Number 2, bad look Black Irish McGillicutty mockery.
Yes.
So they make a couple of jokes about how McGillicutty is a black guy, and obviously he's not. The right-hand man to the person that Edge is Jack is assuming the role of is obviously not black. But they apparently assassinated both of the people they're pretending to be, and the dude is a black man, and he's supposed to be an Irish man, so they make jokes about that, and it's just not funny. It's in bad taste.
What was the whole alliteration again? Bad look, Black Irish McGillicutty.
Mockery.
I had to look up how to spell McGillicutty, and I.
Oh yeah, I just guessed, but no one sees my outline, so as long as I know how to read it. And number 1, international airspace airplane is absent illegal activities, ergo ending any actual allure or entertainment.
I'm not writing that down.
Yeah.
So yeah, the international airplane airspace is the reason that this airplane can do illegal things, right?
Yeah.
But they're absent illegal activities on the plane. They're doing them at some location, not on the plane, so it's totally illegal wherever it is. And it's the whole reason for the movie. Like, they feed a guy to piranhas, but they don't do it on the plane like they should. They're doing it on the ground somewhere where it's totally illegal. The whole point is to have the international space be airspace be why they can do the crimes.
Well, I guess,
and the worst thing they do is play fucking poker.
So I guess, devil's advocate, I guess if the bad shit's happening on land and it's gonna happen anyways, like if they're just like looking at like a live feed of horrible things happening around the world, then the unsanctioned betting would still be protected because they're not an accessory in the ground level fuckery. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Too much credit. Too much credit.
Yeah, too much credit.
This entire episode has been too much credit so far, so keep going.
But yeah, I mean, we'll get into how cheap it looked, but it really drove me crazy that nothing really. The Russian roulette was the only thing that really happened that was like super illegal, and the guy who like killed himself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's all I got. You guys want to mention anything that was in poor taste that I missed?
Nah.
No, I don't think I had anything.
All right, cool. Let's throw it to Rob's ad read.
Cool.
Go down to Marie Callender's. Get me a big bowl of pie, some ice cream on it. Good. Put some on your head. Your tongue would slap your brains out trying to get to it. Interested? Sure.
Rob's ad read.
I missed.
That's right. I brought it back.
All right, cool. This one's a deep cut. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Milton Bradley's new surface tension traversing tabletop game, I'd Hate to Burst Your Cum Bubble. Like blowing bubbles? Cool.
Jeez.
Like blowing cum bubbles? Okay, you're part of a very small niche, but we've got you covered. I'd Hate to Burst Your Cum Bubble doesn't actually use real-life cum, but rather a proprietary blend of dish soap and borax. But if you want to use the real thing, just don't post it on social media. Please, for the love of God, don't post it on Instagram. So if you've got a friend and you want to burst their bubble, grab a couple toothpicks and get to popping. I'd hate to burst your cum bubble. How is this a thing?
Jesus Christ.
The toothpicks suddenly reminded me of something. Anyway. Test number 4, the worst dialogue.
Bad dialogue may include something like,
he's in there every night. This damn gang selling the stupid cocaine.
Nice. Stupid cocaine.
A stupid cocaine. Number 5, this is concierge.
Oh, time out. Number
5. Oh, my bad.
And then...
Ladies and gentlemen, as a representative of the House, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the money plane. I am your concierge, and I am here to facilitate your every desire for action and speculation. As you know, there are no cameras on board. This is to ensure the utmost discretion. Rest assured, both you and your funds are thoroughly secure. Myself and my staff are here on board to bring you anything and everything that you desire. At this point in time, I want to introduce you to my bookkeeper, who will go over the rules of the House.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As a representative of the House, it is my job to inform you of our zero tolerance cheating policy. I cannot express to you enough how important it is for your personal well-being. There will be no loud, aggressive behavior which might disturb another guest or crew member. There'll be no fighting, no murder, no dismemberment. Unless, of course, those things are permitted within the rules of engagement for a specific event. Keeping that in mind, good luck and have fun.
This whole thing reminds me of the subreddit r/I am very badass.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's very not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
It's very not.
It's really not at all. They offer to give you anything and everything that you want, all of your desires or whatever. And immediately one of the like gross dudes is like, "I want that stewardess," and they're like, "Yeah, but no."
Yeah,
exactly. But also the guy who says he's the concierge says he's the concierge, which I thought was funny. They didn't do another take.
Yeah.
All right, here's number 4. This is Gambler.
We got your back. Sarah got her husband back. I got my best friend back. But make no mistake, Jack, you got great instincts. You need to trust them. Stop second-guessing yourself.
Ever since I lost that hand, don't know if I can.
It's ironic, isn't it? Gambling's what got you into this whole mess. And now, the money plane. Casino in the sky. Full of the world's most dangerous criminals. You sure know how to pick them, pal. But hey, if anybody's gonna pull it off, it's gonna be you. You and your crew. Heck, might even be a good time.
I doubt that. But maybe I can convince you to
Come with us anyway?
No. Not this time, buddy. I got this thing about planes.
Coming from the youngest Major General in the United States Air Force.
Hell, I would have made lieutenant if I didn't quit to run around the world with you.
What the fuck?
Coming from
Jesus
the youngest
Christ.
lieutenant general ever in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Could it be cheesier?
Yeah.
Ever since you lost that hand, it's supposed to be an establishing moment for his backstory. Is that what that is?
I can't believe I didn't fold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, they say money plane.
Yeah.
They many times.
Several times.
Yes.
Not in this clip, but overall.
Yes, and we will hear more, I promise. Let's go to number 3. This is fucked.
Hey, honey.
You're not supposed to be down here.
Rules were meant to be fucked. You want to get fucked?
Now, you're gonna have to leave or else I'm gonna be forced to call security.
You tell on me. What's in the bag?
It's employees only. Leave.
What are you up to?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Why are they whispering?
Keep getting quieter.
You got balls of steel, amigo.
This would be a funny way to end the clip. Yeah, so rules are meant to be fucked. Do you want to fuck?
Yeah.
Is she a rule? Following the rule.
Did he think that would work ever?
Apparently he did. I mean, the stewardess thing, the little cocktail waitress dress thing she's wearing, I get it, attractive, but that's not the line. I don't think that's the line you go with.
Yeah.
No.
Also nothing. What do you guys want to say anything else before I throw it to the next one?
Why are they they already made it clear there's no surveillance. Why are they whispering? They could have just talked at regular volume. Would have been fine.
Yeah. They could have.
I don't know. Did it make it like sexy?
I don't know.
It begs the question.
Well,
who started it? Did he start that or did she start that? Like, who started talking lower? I'll have to go back I'd go back and listen to it again, but no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to do another edit. So let's just
yeah.
Number
2. This is Cookie.
Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar?
Me?
Yeah. You stole that cookie.
Listen, it's not what it looks like.
That's a bad guy catching a dude like with his electronic device, like stealing the crypto.
Yeah.
And he thought, I'm going to kick this guy's ass, but first I'm going to intimidate him. How do I do that? He's stealing. I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a cookie jar analogy real quick.
Yeah, like Milton Bradley's Who Stole the Cookie from the Cookie Jar, the same company that is sponsoring the show with I Hate to Burst Your Cum Bubble, TM.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Tell me if this is my generation or isolated to my school. In kindergarten, we did a rhyme, sing-songy type thing called "Who Stole the Cookie from the Cookie Jar?"
Yeah,
and did you guys do that?
Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar?
Okay.
And
And we also had the chicken soup with rice poems too.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no, it exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number.
Fuck this movie.
1. Drum roll, please.
Oh yeah. New
we
bumper,
know this.
everything. You know what? Fuck it.
Oh, so aptly named Money Plane.
There is a legend in the underworld. For those in the know, it's called a money plane. Some of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet are on that plane, all craving action. Whatever you want to wager on, the money plane has you covered. You want to bet on a dude fucking an alligator? Money plane. Untouchable by any government because the flight always takes place in international airspace. Word is they have over $1 billion in crypto on board and millions in cash. I want you and your crew to take down the house. You gotta be kidding me, right? Do I look like I'm joking? Now, I'm gonna be fronting you the money for the buy-in, and I'm arranging cover stories for you and your crew to get on board undetected.
This is batshit crazy, Darius. We can't do it.
No. What's crazy is I don't have my painting. Yet you're here talking to me. Still very alive.
Woo.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a plane full of badass motherfuckers in the sky, says Kelsey Grammer. I don't know why it just doesn't. And he's like a big dude and he's pretty fit for his age and stuff. He's just not badass. He's just not.
I'm pretty sure he's like a Juilliard graduate too. So
probably.
Yeah. Probably. Hey, it's obvious. They say money plane again.
Yeah.
You know, I think that might have been the first time.
Yeah.
Pretty prominent,
yeah,
though.
But
I think so.
Like
yeah.
2 or 3 times in the same paragraph.
Oh, for sure. And then if you want to bet on a dude fucking an alligator. And here's the thing. We were all wondering, well, at least maybe just me, but what about a dude fucking an alligator are you betting on? Whether a dude will fuck an alligator? If they will climax together, as one of us said in the text stream, not want to single you out.
Who goes on top? If they do a doggy style, do they have to lift the tail up? There's a whole bunch of things to consider.
Yeah. Will the man survive? Will the alligator survive?
Who devours who at the end?
Who devours who? Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff. We were wondering what exactly you're betting on. But what an outrageous thing to write into the dialogue of your movie.
Do you think there's like a sizzle reel of like Kelsey Grammer trying out about you want to bet on a midget like wearing a bikini, like covered in Astroglide,
South Park
riding down a slip and slide? Yeah, but like, do you think like he came up with like a bunch of different? And that was like the best one that they used.
Probably.
Because
I hope there was a sizzle reel.
My life's goal was to find that reel.
Then we set up a private showing at a theater.
Yeah.
Just
so that's bad news on that front, by the way. But anyway, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Test number 5, the worst production.
Oh my god!
When a studio puts out a production this bad, they're dead meat.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right. Worst production. Let's do it.
They're dead meat is my favorite. Okay. My worst production tagline is low budget, but not.
Yeah.
And here's my logic. If a film is low budget, which this one was, it doesn't involve a flying casino and elaborate heist. This movie, in its conception, needed a large budget to be what it was trying to be. It was trying to be much bigger than it was. A bigger budget would have meant better sets, better effects, better casting,
better talent,
and ultimately a better movie. And I think if they're going to go low budget, which by the way they were actually filming. So get this, they were filming scenes in corners of scenery that were only partially built just to get the scene filmed. And then would like move the camera to face the other corner that was just finished being built to finish the other part of the scene. That's how low budget they were. Yet they tried ambitiously to be this movie, and it was just a fucking nightmare.
The set reminded me of
absolutely was.
You know how like Instagram influencers could like rent a fake airplane to take like their selfies so they could like sell you their masterclass.
Yeah, it was worse than that.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
It was worse than that.
No, I agree. I have much more to say on that in the catch-all.
When they did the flash forward of what the heist was going to look like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's just the flash forward inside of the plane. No, that ended up being the actual plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heist was shot like the actual heist was shot like in the same hour with on this in the same exact set the same people.
Yep.
They were just like, all right, now do a take where instead of punching him with your left hand, you do it with your right, so that we can differentiate the projection from the reality. And that's what they actually used. Totally pathetic. All right, test number 6. The worst acting.
Do you even know how to act?
How can you act like that?
Shut up!
It's the worst acting.
Perfect. This is number
1, Daddy.
Speaking of one last job.
This is the last one. I promise.
And what happened to the last one?
We didn't exactly complete the job, did we?
It's not our fault the painting wasn't there.
Hey, stay focused. What's the job?
We are going to rob the money plane. It's an airborne casino chartered by a bunch of elite criminals who bet on all kinds of crazy shit. It operates over international airspace, but apparently it has $1 billion in cryptocurrency.
And we're gonna steal it?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I love it.
And how do we do this?
I am going to take on the persona of a Mr. Philip Monroe. He's an infamous human trafficker, but he did all of his business digitally, so nobody knows what he looks like.
Well, what happened to the real Monroe?
It seems Isabella had a run-in with Mr. Monroe last June in Moscow.
So right there at the end of the clip, I thought it was interesting that they tried to throw in like a Quentin Tarantino style, like quick flash of something that happened, like with the high intensity music, you know, which is really fun. But they do it that once, and that's it. If they did, they should have done like 15 of those throughout the movie, and it would have made it a much more interesting watch. It was just like the director had an idea, like as they were going, and he was like, "Oh, you know what? I just saw this movie last night where they did this thing."
Yeah.
You know, and just like wrote it into the plot as fast as he could and just shoved it in there. And I thought it was like something that it was cheap because he only used it once and didn't really go anywhere, but it was a half cooked, like decent idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's like 2 more last jobs after that also, which I think is really funny. Like towards the end of the the end of the movie, you find out that there's like 2 more, and it's not for humor's sake. But we talk about how that's a trope, how it's always the one last job. It's like the Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Like, I was just about to retire, blah, blah, blah.
I'm getting too old for this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But I thought that Edge was especially bad when he was talking about assuming the role as a Mr. Monroe. It's like, I'll be assuming the role of a human trafficking billionaire named Mr. Monroe. It just Rob, like you've said in the past, it sounded like a table read.
Yeah,
you know, it really did. Worse, maybe, like an audition that you do not choose. Like that guy was
that you don't get picked for.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go with number 2. Sorry, I am struggling with my COVID over here.
Ooh.
I hope it doesn't get to you guys through my mic.
Yeah.
This is Full House.
The table shows the 4 of diamonds, the 5 of hearts, the 7 of clubs, and the Queen of spades.
All in.
Damn it! Thanks for making me feel alive. I call.
Mr. J.R. Crockett calls.
I call.
Fortune favors the bold.
Here comes the river. A pair of 7s.
Yeehaw! Full house.
Mr. Monroe, please show your hand. And a pair of 4s.
More.
Gentlemen, our winner is J.R. Crockett.
I'd like to retire to a room, please. I'm feeling off. Transfer my funds to my associate, Mr. McGillicutty. I'd like him to keep playing for me, please.
Of course, sir. Proceed to the lounge. I'll make sure somebody checks you in.
Thank you.
Mr. Monroe is transferring his funds to Mr. McGillicutty. Please make sure he can wager freely.
Okay, I mentioned before that no one knows how to play Hold'em. They made that especially confusing. He's got a pair of fours. So he should have had nothing if they wanted to convey to the audience that he was intentionally losing so that he can go to the back.
Yeah.
Because they say that he's like a gambler and that he's one of the best players at any table he's ever at, blah 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 blah. But that he never shows any skill later, like you would expect to, because the movie set it up that way. So he loses on purpose, I'm pretty sure. But they should have had him have nothing at all, because it makes him look like he doesn't know what he's doing.
I know.
And I played
the whole movie, I was just waiting for them to play that card, so to speak. It's like he's the best gambler, and then he's gonna do it, and he fucking didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
Wait till the catch-all, because I have an alternate ending now I'd like to pitch to you guys.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
But anyway, if you in the tradition of Texas Hold'em, when they go all in on the turn, they would have turned their cards over also then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole audience then gets to see whether or not the river is much more impactful and exciting when you know what the other player needs, whoever's behind.
Right.
So I think, according to the rules, you don't have to show your hand if you are. I don't know. It's that if I'm drinking and playing with my friends, usually we turn the cards over.
Speaking of which,
but it's also true on television.
Here's some insight to my poker knowledge. Chris, you used to have a poker night every Tuesday or Thursday, and I attended a few of them because I'm not good at cards.
Yeah,
and we would we would call it, and then I'd show my hand, and I'd be like, "Is this good? Did I win?" You're like, "You have a fucking full house." I'm like, "Oh, how about that?"
Yeah,
happened 5 times in a row.
People don't like to play with that person because that person always wins. It's really weird.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's always true.
That's funny.
All right, here's number 3. This is Grouchy.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking, what if I don't work for you? What if you were actually just a little bitch? And what if this money wasn't actually yours anymore?
Are you really fucking with me right now? Are you fucking with me?
You think you're badass, yeah? The criminals on this plane would eat you alive. On this plane, you're a dime a dozen, Colonel.
I don't give a fuck who's on that plane. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I am Darius Grouch III, the Rumble, and I am taking down the money plane. Now bring me my money.
Please hold on.
So bad. Come on, Kelsey. What are you up to, dude? Paycheck. Desperation.
Yes. Yeah.
Same with Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a soap opera actress at this point.
Yeah, and this might as well have been a soap opera. The acting was that bad, and the sets were just as bad.
Her acting's always been bad.
Yeah,
that's fair. She has a name, but her acting has been bad. That's fair. All right, let's throw it over to Bob. He can give me a break and take it over with fact or no fact. Bob's gonna give you a
Rob, you ever thought about
in fact or no fact.
These are good bumpers this season. Good bumpers.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
It was a good movie we had to pull from.
Yeah.
So fact or no fact, for those newcomers to the pod, is a game show where we have to discern fact from fiction, and I give 5 things that sound real, but only one of them is a lie. Okay, so this was inspired. So I'm going to give you a fact, and then I'm going to tell you where the game came from. So the cowboy character, the guy that never loses, that blew his brains
J.R.
out.
Crockett.
Yeah.
He was played by Matthew Lawrence, the male child from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Huh.
That's right. Okay, so okay.
All right.
Okay, I just blew Chris's mind. That's all I'm just saying. So yeah, that's one of the that's the director's brother, and the concierge's brother. They were all Lawrence's. And that got me thinking, like, what else did the rest of the cast do besides this movie? Because I've never seen any of them, like literally any of them.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Except for Kelsey Grammer. So here we go.
So you're not a big wrestler kind of guy.
Never have been, never will be. Okay, that's not true. I was when I was a kid. I'm not counting that as my adult life. Anyway.
Fair.
So, first one, the actress who played Mia Yamada. That was the Asian gambler character.
Yeah.
She wrote and directed and starred in a short called Two Wongs Make a White.
Wow.
I was waiting for Rob to laugh. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Next one.
I heard him try not to.
Yeah.
He succeeded.
Okay. The actress who played the lead badass flight attendant character, she was cast as a cheerleader or dancer or cheerleader/dancer in 7 movies between 2007 and 2009.
Okay.
And this movie came out in 2020, for those of you that didn't forget. Okay, fourth one. Kelsey Grammer.
Wait, third?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is this the third one? Did I miss one?
This is the third one, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Kelsey Grammer played a character named Stuart Crane on a 1981 episode of Magnum P.I., years before Frasier Crane was even a thing.
Huh.
Okay.
Shows how many facts you have for this movie.
Yeah, I have none, by the way. Okay, the bookkeeper, that was the guy that read the rules of the that actor has acted in 287 roles in TV and film since 1963 and is still working. He's still working. And lastly, the director, Andy Lawrence, has done many cartoon voices, including an episode of King of the Hill. And that's it.
Okay.
Right.
Which one's a lie?
Well, go ahead.
You want to go? All right. So 2 Wongs make a white.
You just wanted to say that.
Yeah. I don't know. That seems like. I know we have like poor taste metrics on this show, but I feel like But I also feel like Bob wouldn't just like say something so egregiously racist for the fun of it. So it has to be based in truth somehow. Because Bob's an outstanding citizen.
Of course. I'm a public school educator.
Yeah, exactly. The actress who played the lead badass flight attendant was cast as a cheerleader or cheerleader/dancer in 7 movies between 2007 and 2009. Once again, I didn't recognize anybody in this movie aside from like the obvious. Very well. So like she was like a background character in like one of the Final Destination movies, like with like at the racetrack before a car slams into them. Yeah, something like that. Kelsey Grammer played a character called Stuart Crane. What year was that, Bob, for Magnum P.I.?
81.
81. So that puts him like 6 years before Cheers. I don't think he. I recently looked at his filmography like before he even thought about doing the show, and I don't remember seeing that. But also, I want to say he didn't like. I want to say Cheers was his breakout role, and like it could have been a minor role, but like, I don't think he was like that established yet. So I'm gonna circle back to that maybe. The bookkeeper has acted in 287 roles since '63. He didn't look that old, so he must have been. If that's true, he would have started really fucking young, like in his like teens, which is possible. He could have been like a child actor turned.
So you're saying that wasn't John Taffer from Bar Rescue?
I'm shutting this plane down. Is that a raccoon? The director, Andy Lawrence, has done many cartoon voices, including episode of King of the Hill. I mean, a lot of people have done voice acting on King of the Hill. So I'm going to go with my gut and say the lie is the Magnum P.I. one. Because I was recently, this sounds pathetic, I was recently researching Frasier for something, and I didn't come across that. So I'm just gonna go with my gut and say he was not in Magnum PI.
Okay. Bookkeeper, actor in 287 roles. This is a lie.
All right, so Two Wongs Make a White is a short film about two Eastern Asian characters who adopt a white child.
All right.
Okay, well, they didn't make it.
They.
That's a good point.
Wait. Is it Two Wongs don't make a white? Because that's
two
right.
Wongs take a white.
You're making it so much worse. I wish you wouldn't make it worse.
I'm just trying to logic my way through this. It was put on my plate. I need to clear it before I have to.
Yeah, I didn't title the movie. I just researched very. By the way, I researched heavily for this quiz because there was no shit about this movie out there.
Yeah, because they buried it immediately after filming.
There was like, the Lawrences are brothers, right? That was like the only fact.
Yeah, you did not. Anyway, go ahead. Good.
So the actress, who, by the way, is super fine, she played a cheerleader / dancer in 7 movies. Actually, I want to say it was even more than 7, but 7 makes it a fact. Between 07 and 09. Ted Danson played a character named Stuart Crane on a 1981 episode of Magnum PI.
Nice. I believed you, Rob.
Which means Kelsey Grammer was acting then, but he was more of a Shakespearean actor, as Rob alluded to earlier.
Julia.
Yes, the bookkeeper did act in 287 roles in TV and film, and he's still going. And the director has done many cartoon voices, most notably Recess. I'm not sure what that is.
That's a Disney Channel, I think, right?
Yeah, it was like right around when Rob and I think were getting out of cartoons on television, like out of that age.
I want to say all 3 Lawrence brothers worked on that show, I think.
I believe it.
And he was in an episode of King of the Hill. He played I forget. I should have written it down, but I forget who he played.
All right. Can I throw in a quick fact that now that I know you didn't bring it up?
Yeah, please.
The directors, they had Kelsey Grammer in mind for that role the entire time.
Yes, they did.
And they're going to call him, and they're like, "There's no way he's going to do this, but we'll put a flyer out." And he's like, "Oh, I'd love to do it." It's like what he described it as, like, I always wanted to be like an evil mustache twirling type of figure.
I want to say I wrote that down and didn't use it, but I read that too. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I did not read that.
Yeah, they were like, we'll give it a shot, and he took it, and they're like, "What? You're gonna take it?"
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we got Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'll do it for free.
And he's not a movie guy. He's been in like a handful of movies.
Yeah. What was it? The Pentagon something?
Yeah.
Brief? No, that's Pentagon Brief.
The
Pentagon Wars.
He was in Down Periscope, which was like a.
He's in the Expendables. He's in the Expendables.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was also in a movie, something, the Pentagon something, which is supposed to be decent, and he's like.
When I was researching him lightly, I saw that he played Dr. Fraser
Pentagon
Crane
Wars.
in a dozen of Disney produced specials. He played Dr. Crane in so many things before he left Cheers and did Frasier.
Yeah, I believe it. That's his one role, like Matthew Perry was saying. I hope I'm not just remembered for my time on Friends, but like.
No, now he's remembered from drowning in a tub after doing too much ketamine.
Rob.
Sorry.
Ouch.
Rob,
Ouch.
No. Too soon.
Rob, you're losing our one listener who likes Matthew Perry.
I know, see, right?
I mean, not saying
we're no longer friends.
Not saying him is not going to bring him back. So I'm just saying.
No longer friends. Oh, that makes it worse.
Wait.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, much worse.
Let's run to the catch-all.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It appears that we've caught everything.
Oh my god!
It's all over.
Oh my god!
Let's all go home.
Oh my god!
All right, I'll go first since I have 25 more.
I saw that no one took the My Father clip, and I had to like use it to the fullest.
Yeah, I wanted to. I just couldn't figure out how it would fit into my bumpers.
Yeah, me either. Anywho,
you found a way to jam it in.
Yeah,
a time or two. I'll go first since I have a number more than you guys.
Yeah, you always go first because one of these days we're gonna find out you're gonna go first and not go last, and that will be the day we end the podcast.
Yeah,
this is the whole reason. Like Rob and I started this pod because we wanted to beat Claw Boss. Number one,
not even close.
But two, because I was like, I just sit and watch movies and pick them apart, and I have a million things to say about every fucking movie I watch. And
True.
Rob was like, I could do a movie pod. And we were like, let's do better than
me,
Claw Boss.
who never watched movies in my life.
And you are now a writer, a movie writer.
Yeah, I know. Crazy how things work.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you guys know that A Job Well Done has 3 parts? 1, the right crew. It takes more than 1 flint to make a fire. 2, there's how things work and how things appear to be. And 3, a plan is only as good as your plan B. Did you guys know that?
Yes. They may have mentioned that a couple times.
Oh my god. He's literally starting with the first line of the movie.
I'm going into every line with a heavy critique.
In fairness, that's also one of the last lines of the movie because they repeat
Yeah, it was. True. Here's my favorite part when the henchman holds up the laptop just to show his wife's like Facebook profile picture to say like, this is your wife in case you didn't know who she was.
We're already at her Facebook picture. Pretty soon we're gonna know where she lives.
It wasn't like showing them being held hostage or tied up. It was just like, this is your wife. And it was, I laughed I paused it. I was laughing so hard then.
Yeah,
that's really funny. That was funny.
I'm just gonna just get it out in the open. Exposition overload. Kelsey Grammer tells Edge, it's the money plane. The baddest motherfuckers go there. They can bet on whatever they want, and they can do that because it's over international waters. When he goes to his crew to give him the briefing on the mission, he goes, it's the money plane. It's a crazy airborne casino where anything goes, and we could do that because in international waters.
Yeah.
Where he could have just assembled the crew and like tossed them a manila folder, go, that's our mission. Like, and like just like they could have talked about other stuff that may have been like, built the characters a little better or
that's true. But even to back you up even more, it feels like everybody already like it's for people in the know, but every character already knows what it is.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're gonna rob the money plane? That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Grouch and Jack they very easily made cover stories and credentials for the impossible job of stealing the money plane.
Yeah.
I just like that Grouch is like, I've already made you a cover story. And then Jack is like, I've already gotten you credentials as a stewardess.
Yeah.
It's just like that easy. There's no backstory on like there's no, they don't show us.
Yeah.
They don't even tell us how it happens.
I mean, this kind of... Yeah, go ahead.
If you're a stewardess, like, wouldn't you think the people that run the money plane would like vet their staff a little bit? She just showed on. It's like, oh, it's my first day.
And they're like, all right, well, leave your pistol right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, then if she doesn't give the second gun, they're like, okay.
Yeah. You think there'd be a roster or something of like who's working on the plane that's doing this highly illegal stuff?
You would think, you'd think they'd use people they know.
Yeah.
Especially if they know there's not going to be any security on board.
Yeah. No one trusts anyone. This kind of goes along with what both you guys just said. There's not much more I hate than force-feeding character sketches. Like, oh, remember when you lost that hand and the gambling shit you did? Remember when you couldn't be in the last fight of the fucking whatever it was? Same thing. And the same thing you guys said, like, like explain the money, over explain the money plane, or saying I got you credentials because like we had to say it twice.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. That just reeks of a low budget movie.
I think though the worst use of force feeding character sketches, as you put it, which was really nicely put, is when they give Jack that line where like his best friend is like, "Oh, it all went down for you with that one hand of poker, but for us it was a blessing," or whatever. And then like you're supposed to glean all of this information about how he wasn't. It's ridiculous, but I guess my brain did do the work because I was like, oh, he probably like, so we're supposed to think he was like not a bad guy, but a gambler, and he knew he was the best, but he lost like the big hand, probably got cheated out of it somehow. He's a moral dude, like I'm getting ascertaining all this information I'm supposed to get from that back, but it's so lazy and it really doesn't tell you anything,
and it never pays off ever.
Yeah, and it never pays off. That's a very fair point.
All right, so I don't know what this point tells you about my position in life or my tax bracket. I'm very much a member of the proletariat, so I don't have a concept of how big these fucking jets are. But how big is this fucking plane? Because like they have like casinos, different floors apparently, and also like they have like a whole hotel on there, so you can get a room, like get a lady or whatever. Like I understand like maybe like Air Force One or like some of the bigger like super expensive jets, like a band's tour bus, have like, I would imagine they have like a bunk situation even on like the high end ones, because like even like national touring bands, like they don't have their own full bedroom on their bus. They have like a a little cubby for their stuff and maybe like a recreation room. Like I don't know. I feel like the size of the plane was unrealistic to me, especially if it's like unsanctioned and like because like something going in the sky, whether or not it's in international territory, it has to be registered somehow, and I just feel like a vessel that large, that is basically apparently a hotel and a casino and all this other shit, just wouldn't exist in this world.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, and I have more to say about that in the catch-all when I get there. But for now, I'm gonna say that Edge's daughter, like Jack's daughter, falls asleep in 4 seconds. Like they're talking, and then he turns and she's asleep.
My wife is still with my son, who I tried putting down for bed at 6:45.
I was just about to say, we all know how unrealistic that is.
Yeah,
we all do. That's unnerving and irritating.
It's called Benadryl meatloaf.
Yeah,
you just stick it in there.
Yeah.
But I love that, like, after the 4 seconds have elapsed and she's asleep, they immediately have a full conversation over her.
Yeah.
About what a sweet girl she is. Like, she literally just fell asleep. Aaron and I, an hour after they fall asleep, if we have to be anywhere near their rooms, are just tiptoeing past it, trying not to, like, let a door creak or a floorboard make a sound. And they're just having a full-fledged conversation right over the girl's body as she's sleeping.
Our apartment's like 1,200 square feet. We have a bathroom directly across the hall from my son's room. We have a master bedroom, which is like way down the hall, and then you have to go through the door into the bathroom. Like if we don't poop, we don't flush the toilet because we think the pipes will wake up the kids. And this is like a newly renovated apartment. We're that afraid of waking them up. It's like on a hair trigger.
That right there is sound pipe logic, if you ask me.
Yes.
Yes, that is sound pipe logic. Yes, literally.
Literally, yellow, let it mellow. Yeah, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, you'll frown because your kids have woke up and ruined your reach around.
Anyway, okay.
As they say.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go forward as if nothing's happened. So if Kelsey Grammer's characters has this much pull, what does he need with all the thievery? Couldn't he just invest what he has in like a normal corporate
live off the interest? Yeah, live off the interest and the fat of the land.
He has so much pull and resources. Just live with what you're alone, for God's sake. You don't have a family or I don't know.
I think for those types, it's the thrill of the hunt. Because in Breaking Bad, Heisenberg, like, he had everything he needed to secure his family's finances for like the next several generations, but like he's just like, I'm good at it. I like it. It makes me feel alive. Too deep. Yeah. My turn.
All right, sure.
So, the poker game. What if? This is me who's never written a screenplay in my life. Any short fiction I've written, not good. That's why I haven't published anything, because I don't think it's good enough to get to that level. But I mean, just like instinct from watching this many films. All right, they get caught trying to rob the money plane, right? Yeah. And then they get called out, and they go, "Let's play a hand for it. If we win, we get what we came for. If we lose, you kill us all." And then they have a high stakes game that takes most of the third act, but there's fuckery happening while they're playing that game that could determine the outcome. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fun. Because if you have all 4 of them with guns, and there's only 8 of them with guns on them, maybe they don't want to lose half of their crew. Like, we'll just play a game of poker, and we have the best poker player in the world anyway. And then Jack happens to be the Jack up the sleeve, so to speak, the Jack of all trades. And
it's much better. It's much better.
Yeah, that is way better. Because the tension would have been. Yeah. Love it, Rob. Great job. All right. Oh, it's my turn. Terrible pacing. Shouldn't we be jam-packed with entertainment? I mean, where are the rape tiles?
Rape tiles? Yeah. Oh, the alligator. Got it.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like actual like porcelain.
Oh no, no, I meant like reptiles. I just made it fun.
Got it.
So aside from the fact that it was not an action movie, because it wasn't, the co-pilot is an actual tough guy. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah. That's
by
funny.
being
He's, like,
a casino plane, what are the odds?
It's funny. I bring that up too, but I'll wait my turn.
Right. We alluded to this, but Kelsey Grammer can only be Frasier or Sideshow Bob. I think it's not to his discredit. I think his name is ubiquitous with those characters because he's done both those characters collectively for like 50 years when you add up like just both properties. And he's done some drama. He was in that Boss show on like Showtime or HBO, and that was nominated for Emmys and stuff. And he's playing like a hardened like CEO criminal type guy, like a kingpin. But it's just, I don't know, when you play Frasier Crane for over 20 years and now he's rebooting it and plans to do another like 100 episode run, it's like that's the guy you're playing. That's the role you're born to play. It's not a discredit to your acting. It's just you do that character so well, people don't want you to see. Yeah. They don't want to see you be anybody else. And I think that's a problem with Kelsey Grammer, because I think in the right context he could be a badass. But I don't think any of us could temper our expectations to see him as anything other than like a tongue-in-cheek, like ritzy, pompous jackass.
He's also not handsome enough to be like a lead man, so it wasn't surprising to me that he wasn't, the star of an action flick in the 90s, because he's ugly. I hate to say it. Just like the entire Frasier run, it's like he's hooking up with chicks, and you're like, I don't care how smart and rich he is. He's like really fucking ugly. This is just not going to happen.
Make sure when we post this episode, we tag Kelsey Grammer and play this clip specifically. Like, you're fucking ugly.
I mean, he's not the worst looking guy I've ever seen, but he's not an attractive dude, right? I mean,
no, it's the baritone voice that makes women quiver.
He does have a nice quality to his voice. That's for sure.
I wouldn't fuck him over an alligator.
No.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. Nice.
I wouldn't fuck you since 1962.
Whose turn is it? Mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to combo these extremely cheap sets, in which we've kind of already mentioned. So I'm going to combo it. Like the richest men in the world would ever gamble here. It's not a casino in the sky. It's my friend's basement poker setup and a few Kindles that they used to gamble with. Honestly, that poker table made me laugh because my friend Bill had that poker table. So did my friend Jay. So did my friend Steve. You know,
Probably
like that is the poker table that cost $120. I remember
from like Bass Pro Shops or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get it online like right now for probably $80.
Yeah.
No problem. And then they had those lights you put up in your room if you want to make your room like glow different colors and stuff.
Oh yeah, the bisexual lighting. I got it behind the Christmas tree. See? The LED strip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bisexual lighting. Yeah.
Sure, the B strip, the bisexual lighting. I'm not sure they call it that, but
they call it that.
Anyway, they have that set up, and that's the casino room. It's like one table. There's not a slot machine to be seen, a roulette table, nothing. They play Russian roulette, and there's Texas Hold'em, which, by the way, they call an American classic. Texas Hold'em is about to begin on the casino floor. Just the corniest shit, and just awful sets. It looks so terribly. Like the table and the lights in a office room somewhere that was supposed to look like the airplane probably cost $200 to make.
Yeah,
it was really bad,
or horrendous.
Yeah. I'm gonna double up here a little bit. I'm gonna say the kid from Mrs. Doubtfire blew his brains out. That was classic, but that wasn't. I kind of already said that. So I'm gonna say like we were supposed to root for this guy, Jack.
Yeah,
but like. He didn't kill the co-pilot, like who was a completely innocent bystander for the most part of this operation, but he really wanted to. Like, he tried choking him with the cord, and then eventually like knocked him out.
Yeah,
but
true.
He was trying to kill innocent people, and we're supposed to root for this guy? No way.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I agree.
Yeah. Speaking of bad sets, their ground support. The guy who's like, all right, there's $1 billion at stake, plus millions in cash, plus potentially all your lives. And he just sets up half of it, which is like a ham radio, a microwave, and like a KitchenAid mixer and a couple antennas. And like he's halfway through setting it up, has no idea what's going on except for what they're telling him. And he's like, I'm gonna take a break.
That was the director, by the way.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Another brother.
Another brother. Yeah, that was Andy.
All right.
Why 20-1 odds on Russian roulette?
Wouldn't it? I guess wouldn't it be 6-1 or 5-1?
It would be 6-1 if it were one player.
Oh, got it.
Then you'd have to determine which player you're betting on getting shot, and then it's I don't know what the math would be at 3-1 because they're taking it'd be 3-1 on both. Because there's six chambers in the revolver and one bullet.
Yeah. Huh.
So it would never be 20-1. Like 21 makes literally no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, that's they started with, right?
I just thought I'd point out that
house
makes
rules
literally fucking no sense.
That's the house rules. Okay.
But no one's gonna place a bet because
speaking
why am I
of the
bet
ground
21?
crew. Speaking of the ground crew, this is where I'm going to give the movie too much credit, but I think deserved credit. The reality of untangling wires is missing from every other action movie. Bravo, Money Plane.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
I just set up the scene and was like, oh shit, I got all these tangled wires. I think that was brilliant. I thought that was the best part of this movie, honestly.
Nice call, Bob.
Yeah, that's good.
Like that.
You're defending yourself when somebody catches you robbing cryptocurrency from the server.
Yeah.
And the way you defend yourself is by throwing somebody into the server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there were plenty others. There were plenty other ways you could have disarmed whoever was attacking you by not throwing them into the one thing that you needed to execute the mission.
But would that have shocked him? No.
No.
It's like no holds barred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah, the console, like the
yeah.
He threw him onto like a Pro Tools mixing board.
Yeah, it's like,
had like 27 gigawatts of fucking power.
You didn't. Okay, Bob. This is to your credit. You didn't account for the possibility of a fucking co-pilot.
Yeah.
The schematics of the safe they have They know what the safe is going to look like, or at least what they think it's going to look like. They know how to break into the system that's guarding the fucking cryptocurrency, but they didn't account for the fact that there might be a co-pilot on board when he breaks in.
Yeah,
I just thought that was really funny.
That's funny. So, like, I know I don't have the resources to make an action movie, so I don't. So why did they? It's
I don't know.
It's not an action movie. I'm going to say that for the last time.
It's not.
Who put this out?
Absolutely not.
Money Plane.
Netflix.
Was it Netflix?
Was it Netflix?
I don't think it might have been Paramount or something. Let's see. Taylor and Dodge Entertainment and Dawn's Light Productions, distributed by Quiver Distribution. Okay, so nobody.
Yes,
so nobody.
Yeah, because like I would have thought, because like if it was like Paramount, it would have made sense. Because like Kelsey Grammer's been talking about a Frasier reboot for years, and it's like, oh well, that's a Paramount property. I could see like them like just like wanting like a quick like summer blockbuster just to like pad their books. But that's not even the case. So that there goes that theory.
So like movies like this are made all the time. It's just about releases. Yeah. And I want to say because this was released mid-pandemic, it got a lot of traction. Because like, hey, something new. Because we're starved for entertainment in this pandemic.
Yeah, everybody's making like whipped instant coffee, sourdough bread, and watching Tiger King. So it's just like, all right, I'll kill an hour watching this or whatever.
I think that's what happened, and it just bombed.
Yeah,
as well it should.
Yeah,
I honestly don't have much else except that the fact that it was called the it was the Disturbed Duckling was the name of the painting that they had to steal. And I'm gonna bow out because I just I'll riff off you guys, but I don't have
one more.
I don't have much else to be critical about. I think we've covered the gamut pretty widely. So we'll let Chris go another 20 turns, and then we'll move on to our next segment.
I have some more. Explain the chop off his arm bet.
Oh, I can't.
What was that one?
They all had their like Kindles, and they're looking at the guy. They're having a conversation at the table, and they go back to it a couple times, and they're still having a conversation at the table, and the guy just stands up and chops off the other guy's arm, and then
I think they were
McGillicutty wins.
I think they were trying to convince each of them to cut off each other's arm, and they were like not going to do it, and then he decided to do it. I think
like a Saw type of scenario.
Was the bet how long it took? Which arm he cut off? Who cut off whose arm?
I think
whether
they were
he
in
survives.
They were in his ear somehow, like cut off his arm. Do it, come on, do it. And then he decided.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're unclear. Like they could have been trying to convince both of them to cut off each other's
We
arms.
have your wife's Facebook page, okay?
We're gonna find her on Friendster next. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just put up a new thread.
All right, I got my last one. Who are all these tracker connected people? Like everyone seemed to be on a tracker of some sort.
Yeah.
Like the plane's on a tracker. Kelsey Grammer's on a tracker.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm being persnickety, but come on. And how is all this funded? Like how are they all getting paid for being
crypto?
Like henchmen?
Crypto's the blanket. Crypto's like the new blanket. What was a big one in like 90s action movies?
Probably
Bonds.
Oh shoot.
Bonds. Yeah.
Yes, Bond, yeah.
Yeah, or like crypto's a new like untraced unmarkable bill.
Yeah, like Swedish bank accounts or
offshore
bank
accounts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about right. Okay, let's see where I'm at. I said McGillicutty is McGillicutty ends up winning a bet, and the one that he wins, he wagered, or they were wagering on while he was puking in the bathroom.
Yes.
Yep.
Like he goes off, he pukes in the bathroom, he comes back, they're like he won, but like it's impossible for him to have placed the bet beforehand because he had just won the other one before he was like fuck this and left, so that he literally couldn't have placed the bet, and he won anyway. That's just really sloppy.
Yeah.
Do I keep going here?
Yes.
Yeah, go, rapid fire. Let's do a rapid fire.
Trying so hard to get Squid Game vibes, but it's just not happening.
Yeah.
They said not the same safe as the schematics. How the fuck do you get the money plane safe schematics? Like, who gives you that?
Yeah.
Right.
It seems, bad intel on Rumble, Darius, Foggy Bottom,
Grouch.
the Thirds, Grouch. Yeah.
Some drone gun nonsense. Love that.
Yeah.
We're, of course, going to donate all of the money to charity.
Fuck that, dude. If
yeah, that drove me crazy.
Just take the money and run, man. And
I
then,
know.
do whatever. Yeah.
That means that the crew, not knowing about the painting, agrees to do the job for free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
And
it's cutthroat gang.
Yeah.
They quickly agreed. Like, yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, no problem. Done.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before, but if this is my last one. If you're going to send a minivan of assailants to kill some person that you know is a good killer, send more than 4.
Yeah.
Send a whole squad. Send 20, like in Scarface.
Yeah.
You know, when a small army goes to kill Scarface, and it takes basically a small army to kill him because he's so hopped up on cocaine. Send that many guys if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. If there's nothing else, then we're going to send it to our first in a long installment of what else we're watching.
Cool.
I got a letter for you.
A letter? Yeah, it's a letter that talks about all the things we're watching now.
Give me the letter. Give me the damn letter now. Give me the letter. Give me the letter now.
Get it. Grab it.
Give me the letter.
Try again.
Now.
Friends. All right.
Rob, you go first.
I'll go first. All right. So, recently, just like a few nights ago, I just watched The Old Way, starring Nicolas Cage. He plays an outlaw, a Montana Territory gunfighter named Colton Briggs.
Okay.
So basically, he becomes
Colton
reformed.
Briggs.
Yeah. So here's the thing: Nicolas Cage he's gearing up for retirement from like big movies. He wants to get behind the camera and possibly do like something more episodic, like a series, like a True Detective type thing.
Cool.
So like by 2026, he's probably gonna be done. He's on quite the tear. Like everything he's putting out is like critically acclaimed. Like what the fuck is this? Like where has he been all these years? Because he was doing straight to video on demand stuff for a while for like financial reasons.
Yeah.
This is one of those straight to on demand movies, and it's actually not bad. It's a Western. It's a far cry from your typical like classic spaghetti Western or like gritty like Clint Eastwood type of film. But basically, he plays he was a gunman. He killed some dude's father in an altercation. Fast forward like years later, he's got a kid of his own. He owns a shop. He's on the straight and narrow because he met his wife and she helped him settle down. Abandoned the old way, as the title suggests.
Yeah.
So that little boy grows up whose father was killed and kills his wife, and now he's on a quest for revenge.
Okay.
It's a by the numbers like Western like redemption arc type of film, but let's see what it got. It grossed $59,000 in the Netherlands, United Kingdom, and Russia because it was straight on demand. Because the numbers are different. It didn't have a theatrical release, and it got a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes across 59 reviews. But honestly, for I've seen almost
60 reviews.
Yeah, I haven't seen I've seen about 75, 80 Nicolas Cage movies in my life, and I've missed some of the big ones, but I've seen most of the important ones. But I've seen all of his straight to video on demand stuff. And compared to like Dying of the Light or like USS Indianapolis, solid film.
We got to do that one.
Solid film.
We have to do that.
I would watch this again. It was like serious. It was kind of contemplative. It was kind of funny. But like there's one scene where like his daughter like has the same like mental disposition he has, where like she can't like really feel emotion, like borderline sociopath, but like able to temper it. And he's like, they're trying to catch the people. They're trying to evade people, but also capture some people. And he's like, just stand out in the middle and just start crying. Just start crying, and they'll come, and then I'll ambush them. And she's like, I don't know how to cry. And he's like, remember when so-and-so's kid died and we went to the funeral, how the mother was crying? And she was like, wah, my baby. Like, just do that. So this girl, she's like, 10 years old, standing in the middle of the woods, just going, wah, wah, my baby, wah, wah, my baby.
and you like this.
But it was a good comedic scene because the guy that they were trying to ambush shows up and he's just so baffled by what the fuck this girl's doing that Kay just comes up with the revolver. He's like, all right, not another word out of you. It was
oh Christ.
I recommend it. I would watch it again.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's good. So what are you guys watching? What did you guys watch this week?
I'll go next. Normally I'm gonna be with Rob and watch a movie. It's just that's my general medium. But and the guys know what I'm gonna recommend. I think it's a stand-up special, but it's not really a stand-up. It's more performance art.
Okay.
The guy's name is Ruben Solo. It's Reuben Ruben Solo.
I gotta watch that still.
He's an Australian comic. He's known for sketches. He does a lot of sketches on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're very, very smart sketches, but his stand-up is very meta. It's not joke punchline.
Yeah.
It's like he starts the special with a sketch, and then like every part of the special is kind of like a sketch. But he does it live, which is so brave in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he'll do something and he'll run the bit into the ground, kind of like Rob's
what I do
bumpers
all the time.
Kind of like Rob's bumpers. And
my entire life.
He'll run the sketch into the ground, and the audience will sort of respond, and then he'll somehow bring it back where they fully respond. And honestly, I can't recommend it enough, but it's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. So here's what I told a coworker today: if you watch the opening bit and you don't like it, then just turn it off. But if you like the opening bit, keep watching.
He reminds me of Devin Palmer, another like TikTok and Instagram creator. The skit that put him on the map was like, "Hey man, I made you a sandwich." And he's like, "You made that for me?" And it's just like it's like a 2-man skit, but he's playing both characters. Ruben does a lot of stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool.
I'm gonna check that out.
All right, I got a few quick hitters that I'm watching. Invincible Season 2 on Prime. If you haven't seen, I haven't gotten through it, so don't email us any spoilers. But if you haven't seen the first, it's like a American anime basically, but it's like really gruesome. It's not very funny. Violent. It's a little corny, but like it's super violent and entertaining. And then there's a new season of Ink Master out. I think it's like season 14. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, but I love that show. That's a guilty pleasure of mine for sure. But otherwise, it's Christmas movies right now in the house. Erin just told me that she's a little Christmased out. I get it. I love the month before Christmas. As an adult, I'm learning that like I like to soak up all my Christmas the month before, and then the day after, it's just sad because it's over, and then we have to like go in. The reason I like to soak up the Christmas spirit beforehand is because January is just super depressing. It's like cold and brown and gray, and it just sucks, and I hate it. So I'm trying to, imbibe on as much of the Hollywood Christmassy as I can, which is unfortunately not that fun because Christmas movies kind of suck as a whole, which brings me to what we're going to be watching next week. I'm just going to say it right now. We're watching A Christmas Story 2. So here's one that I don't watch until Christmas Day on TNT. Every year they
24 hours
Christmas Story on 24-hour marathon.
Yeah,
and of course we pop it on, so I watch it. I get my fill on Christmas. That's one of my favorites. I grew up watching it, so I get it. Aaron's not huge on it. Whatever. A slap in the face, spit in your balls and rub it in to your scrot kind of movie is A Christmas Story 2. It is
on the
Daniel
back of the VHS.
Stern.
It actually says that. Yes.
Yeah, a slap in your face, spit on your scrot, kind of flick.
High octane Christmas adventure. Yes.
Yeah, but it's Daniel Stern from Home Alone, opposite Joe Pesci as the other wet bandit, and he plays the old man, which is an outrageous recasting.
Yeah,
the whole thing, the entire thing is an outrageous recasting, but also it's poorly acted. The jokes are juvenile at best. The dialogue's terrible. There's nothing redeeming about it, so I think that it will fit in well here on the pod. Can't wait to do that for next week. I think I was the last to go, right? So we can throw it right to back credit names?
Yeah, yeah. There's no mini game this week, huh? Should we play the bumper for the offensive mini game, or
yeah?
So we new season, so we have nothing to compare it to. But here's the bumper for the offensive mini game, which we will revisit next week.
If you can say,
My mother was Korean,
and also,
and my father was Black American.
you may be part of our offensive mini game.
All right. So bad credit names.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Jeff, this is my friend John.
Oh, Jeff, I heard a lot of good things about you.
Where'd you find this son of a bitch?
He's a friend of mine from school.
A friend?
Jeff, Don.
Oh, Jeff.
Don. Jeff, how can you act
Jeff.
like
Oh,
that? Jeff.
Shut up!
Jeff, Don. Don.
Bad credit names.
I love it.
All right, not too many. Starting with Donald Hollywood McFinley.
Hollywood Don. Yeah.
Hick Jeremy.
Okay.
Ryan Putz.
Ew.
Yeah.
And Michael Rusty Eagle Hall.
Wow.
Yeah, Michael Rusty.
What
Eagle
part of that is in
Hall.
quotes?
Rusty.
Okay.
Michael Rusty Eagle Hall. It's hyphenated.
It's disgusting.
He thought he needed another name, apparently.
Yeah.
All right, so the worst movie of the season so far is Money Plane. Well deserved. We don't compare it to anything else, but we don't need to. It's horrible. So it gets the first win. Like I said, next week we are doing A Christmas Story 2. No movie comparison. Did we play the bumper yet?
No.
Oh, no, let's do that right now.
Oh my God!
It's time to compare the movies. Something we haven't done since.
Oh my God!
1962.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I can't tell them apart.
It's unhinged. It's completely unhinged.
Oh my God!
They're all the same.
No, they use different clips.
Oh,
They just use those two ones a lot. They use the Friends for Eternity song, the and the oh my God. But there's other stuff peppered throughout.
Well,
we left those for you on purpose.
Yeah, thank you.
YouTube and Rob's bumpers are two places to judge mental stability.
Yes, true.
Not good. Not good.
No, that ship is sailed.
All right, so A Christmas Story 2 next week. Rob, give us a plug and then send it over to Bob for his last word.
Sure. www.theworstmovieevermade.com. You can find us on all the big streaming platforms. You can find us on YouTube every Sunday. Our regular audio episodes come out on late Tuesday, early Wednesday. The YouTube comes out on Sunday. Bob posts a trailer to promote the episode with clips from the movies that you've heard some on the show today. And Bob will deviate from that and put his own unique spin on it. We have polls to vote for the following week's movie on our Instagram. You could email us all at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. There's a bunch of different buttons. It's very comprehensive. You just click the thing that you want to go to, and it takes you there, and then you do it. Bob?
Oh, the last word is McGillicutty.
Perfect.
All right. See you guys next week with Christmas Story Part 2.
Oh, fuck that.
We're going to celebrate Boxing Day with Christmas Story Part 2.
Yeah, we are.
See you next week.
Hey, look at that. Ruben Solo just posted his first thread.
Oh, yeah. And that's a wrap.